What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, check the description down below. There is a lot of really important resources that you can use to understand the hack better. Not only other video playlists, but there's also a big text bullet point list of the key points about the ROM hack and how it's balanced. So that'll answer a lot of your questions if you're a new viewer. Also, shout out to you if you're new here. Leave a like, sub if you like this type of ROM hack, and if you're interested in seeing more. And shout out to all my returning viewers. I appreciate all of you. Leave a comment down below. Get the video either when you're done watching or, when you're, you can pause and leave one now if you want as well. With that being said, again, in the description there's tons of resources for all those new viewers. You've got the Google Sheet link, which has all of these links, and it's all interconnected, and you can look at all the move buffs and changes. It's all organized by type and by category, and tons and tons and tons of other important information in the description. So again, give that a look. Yeah, Grafaiai. So this guy's sick. I love Grafaiai, man. He's a cool guy. Hope this music isn't too loud. I guess I'll find out. I can turn it down a tiny bit, just to be safe, even though I'm pretty sure it's fine. Back on topic. Grafaiai, Instinct, Unburden, and Prankster are his 3 ability slots. He is the only poison normal type in the hack, which is very unique. It's pretty good typing. It gives you that ghost immunity, which is huge. Again, I've said this in a few videos by now, for Rhyme, who's going to be one of the cheesiest fights in the hack, being a double battle with last respects and all of that crap. And also just double battles in general being a lot harder to prep for and predict because they're inherently kind of RNG heavy in terms of what the AI is going to do. So that's great. Obviously, Ghost Immunity is great, especially on a frailer Pokemon. But also the extra normal stab is very good. The only downside is you lose your fighting resist, but definitely a fair trade-off. Yeah, Instinct is great for them being a fast mixed attacker. God, I can't speak. You also have access to Move Learner at any point to change around your movesets to tailor to the situation, which is why Prankster is actually really useful, despite what you might think. Oh, it's a fast Pokemon with good with +1 at base 95 and 80, it's incredibly strong. Why would I ever use Prankster? Well, that's where the description comes into play if you're a new viewer, where you're playing on Teamlocked, where sometimes you might need your Grafaiai to be more flexible and run it more defensively or utility-oriented as opposed to purely offensively. Although, yeah, for some, maybe even a lot of fights, you'll be running it, purely offensively with that Instinct boost. You can time the point that you switch in to get the right boost and then, kill things. You've got tons of great coverage, very cool, strong stab moves. And Unburden is very good to switch to when needed if you need to outspeed something specific. So it's buffed in a bunch of ways. The main one being that Quick Claw is now... Why did the music get weird there? That was weird. Sorry, that threw me off like crazy. You guys probably didn't even hear that, but in my headphones, like, the audio got weird. Yeah, anyway, Quick Claw, consumable single-use item. However, with item clauses, one of the intended rules, you're probably going to want to use your Quick Claw on somebody else in a lot of cases, which is why you can also use Endure with tons of other things. I would say one of the best applications of Unburden, excuse me, I said Endure, but yeah, one of the best applications late game is Endure, Flail, Stab, plus Lychee Berry, plus Unburden. You get +1 attack, +2 speed, and then a 200 base power stab. Very, very strong. Of course, when the AI has, the only really thing that can stop you at that point is that priority moves on the AI, or which you could maybe even set up Psychic Terrain beforehand if you want to do that, or Quick Claw on the AI if they have that in the back, and you protect is removed for that, for pretty much the main reason being so that you can't protect on the Quick Claw on the AI to burn up the Quick Claw, because there's no opportunity cost to using it. So, I mean, regardless, he can still get some crazy sweeps going, or at least kill a couple Pokemon with Unburden, because 115 speed, while very good, is not like the fastest thing in the hack, not by any means, not even close. It's still fast, don't get it twisted, but it's not like, dude, why does the music keep doing that? Alright, whatever, I'll just finish this video up. Yeah, a great mixed attacker, Unburden very strong. As you can see here, Fling is also incredible, but I actually want to give Prankster some praise first, because it actually is very good, and people might not immediately notice that. Again, because of the fact that your Pokemon should be flexible and able to be ran multiple different ways. You can run like a max bulk Prankster, Battle Cry, Parting Shot, Encore set, for example. You can switch in, Encore them into something that you resist or even are immune to. Although if you're immune to it, they'll switch out, just for the record. Like if you switch it on a Ghost move in Encore, they will switch out. Which is still good. Forcing a switch is good, but ideally you do it on like a resist, like a grass move or something, right? Or a poison move or whatever. Or just a status move or something that you're immune to, whatever it is. Still a great tool. And then you can Parting Shot out, debuff them for free, and then get something else in very safely with that way, Encore into Parting Shot. And then Battle Cry is essentially Charm, and it's basically, -2 attack and special attack, right, with 2 PP. So that's very, very good, especially in conjunction with buffed Black Sludge, making their bulk even better. And I also gave them an exclusive move in Devious Lick, which only Room, Okidogi, and Gengar have, in addition to Grafaiai at this point. Which essentially is just Furry Curse. It doesn't take your HP. It's very, very good. You know, and Grafaiai gets it super early, so especially for like Titan fights, you can lick them, you know, with your nasty. The reason I gave them this, by the way, is because they are, you know, they use their poison saliva to make the paint that they use. Speaking of the paint, yes, I know somebody's going to comment about Sketch. Why don't you give them Sketch? I tried giving them Sketch just one time. It doesn't work. I would have allowed them to have Sketch once at level 100. I think it's pretty cool and not really that broken, but if I give them like 4 like infinite sketches, it's kind of stupid, you know. So they're already very strong. I should really hit home like how powerful Instinct is. Like some people might be like, oh, he only has 1 stat over 100, he's a shitmon. Like no dude. Like no, not even close. 95-80 at +1 is like very strong. It's a very strong Pokemon, very fast and strong, and great, you know, great bulk with investment. Of course, on paper it looks very frail, but when you consider that you have this Encore, Battle Cry, Slack Off combination with Black Sludge, you become really tanky and really good support with, you know, that parting shot and all that stuff. So that's great. Fling, incredible tool for on both Unburden and Instinct. Unburden, Fling, Iron Ball. Fling is Fling basically functions like Fake Out now in that regard, where any item you throw, it'll flinch. It's also priority and it's 1 PP. It's an exclusive move. I only give it to like monkey type Pokemon or Pokemon that really makes sense to like throw their item, like fucking Chansey, you know, they hold the egg, so Fling, sure. Otherwise, it's mostly like monkey type Pokemon or Pokemon that get it by level up. Again, it's still a very limited tool though. It's incredibly powerful, which is why it's so late in the game. Although you still have it for like, I believe, 15-ish boss fights at level 55. You'll have like 15 fights left, which is like, you know, a good chunk of the game left. So yeah, Fling is incredible. I mean, stab, priority, 130 base power move off of +1 attack. It's strong. It's very, very strong. You can also use it for utility with to either poison, para, or most importantly, I would say burn. However, it is significantly weaker, 100 versus 130, which again, when you consider stab and all that, yeah. And of course, that Iron Ball, like if you want just to get a KO, you know, Fake Out into Iron Ball, boom, like that kills a lot of stuff, especially at +1 with Instinct, even without +1. And then of course, you can also trigger your Unburden very easily with Fling as well. And it's just a very, very good, fun, strong late game tool for Grafaiai to take advantage of. Not that they need it. I mean, it's strong and fast and has good support, so it's good regardless. But it's a cool little tool. It fits in really well, and I like Grafaiai, so let them cook a little bit, you know. Yeah, there's not really too much else I should talk about, but I mean, I think I covered most of the Prankster stuff. Early game, you've got, even like, you could use late game Leer, Prankster T-Spikes and stuff is all good. Like, especially because the AI will often lead with a taunt Pokemon or other form of anti-setup. Being able to outspeed with Prankster and then get that T-Spike up before they taunt you is very, very nice, especially if you're running like T-Spike synergy on your other Pokemon, or even just Finish Shock straight up on your actual Grafaiai. Strudel itself is very frail, but early game it's not actually that frail. It'll be like towards the like late teens and early 20s it'll be frail, but EV investment can always help that alongside Prankster and stuff. But mostly it's just a fast offensive guy early game with Instinct and Unburden, and Prankster still has use, but I'd say it's better on Grafaiai once you get access to more moves and better bulk, and just the game play will change. Meanwhile, like, you know, stuff like setup is a thing, and T-Spikes and all that stuff gets unlocked. But yeah, you can still use Prankster early on for Strudel for certain situations for sure. Especially for Toxic or something, if you need to get that off for some reason. They do have a pretty early Toxic too. Most things don't get Toxic that early, so that's pretty unique as well. Yeah, I mean, again, powerful moves. That Flail Unburden stuff is super strong. Also Unburden, White Herb, Hyper Beam and Giga Impact, because both of those moves now function like Draco Meteor, so that's really cool for later in the game. You can get off that 150 base power nuke and then get your Unburden boost that way as well. And there's a bunch of other ways you can trigger Unburden, you know, tons of really creative ways. Especially with Item Claws, I think it's more encouraged instead of just slapping Quick Claw on every Unburden Pokemon, like in Sweltering, because there's no reason to not use it. Now with Item Claws being intended, there is a reason to not just use Unburden Quick Claw. Even in Sweltering, there's reasons to not use it, but all those reasons are much, much better now that there's Move Relearner, because there's much less downside to deleting moves and teaching them again later. There is no downside. It's literally infinite customizability on all your Pokemon. It's great. Again, 3 ability slots too is very good, especially for something like Grafaiai, where you get that 1 speed ability, 1 offensive ability, 1 utility / defense ability. That is a relatively common trend. Not 100, not all Pokemon, but a lot of Pokemon will have that type of synergy with their abilities, so that way you get use out of all three. Yeah. Also, flavor-wise, Slack Off fits because monkey, stuff like Infernape gets it in vanilla, so fits fine to me. Also, just because I try to give most Mons healing moves unless they really, really, really don't need it and it doesn't fit. But if they really want one, usually there's one. I mean, I've created a bunch of new ones so that way you can make them fit. But there will be cute niche cases where they still don't really fit. Like Sneasel, for example, as a random example I just thought of, but they don't really fit, a heal move, even like Slack Off or anything. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you for listening. Leave a comment down below if you made it this far into the video. Again, that fake out stuff with Instinct is super strong too. I didn't mention that. Yeah, Slash, Cross Poison, Laceration, Shadow Claw, all that. X-Scissor with Scope Lens is very strong. You've got tons of great coverage as you can see on screen. You can read that yourself and give the Google Sheet a look and check out all the extra stuff I didn't mention. Even just like, SD, Nasty Plot plus Unburden is good. So yeah, thanks for listening and bye.